Dan Galusha, and welcome to another edition of Dan's Fishing Tales. Today I'm going to start out telling you about a story before we start talking about a product here. A couple of weeks ago, I guess it was, I thought, alright, I'm going to go fishing. But I also was about ready to hit my deadlines on both my Shoot and Plink and Dan's Fishing Tales columns. So now I gotta write those. It won't take that long. Yeah, right. It was just one of those days where nothing was going right. Photos weren't right and all this. I had to take extra photos and do it. Anyway, got it done. And it was later, but I thought, I'm gonna go out and check and see if the ice is out on the lake. And it was. So I fished for about 10 minutes because the sun was getting ready to go down. And I caught fish that you see here on a Z-Man TRD Fatty Z. I was actually finger jigging along the bottom and got one, and I thought, I better get going. It's getting later, but I want to get Barney out and walk him. So I took Barney out and let him run around. And then I got in, I put the stuff in the back of the vehicle, hit the button up above, closed the door, and so everything was working right. At least I thought it was. And I went to start the vehicle. All I got was buzzing and snapping and frying and just nothing. What on earth? So I tried this and that. I called my friend Brandon, who all of you know, who I've seen him on Shoot and Plink. And he says, well, when I get off duty, I'll bring over my jumper pack. All right. I thought he was going to bring one of these things. One of these big ones like this. No, he brought a little bitty thing about like this, and I thought, what on earth? That's going to start this big Yukon XL? Well, here it is. This is one that I've got. That's all the bigger it is, because it started it. And I'm going to talk to you about this. This is a jump and carry, because not only will it work just for fishing anything, whenever you need something like this, in this sort of situation, this is going to hopefully be what you need. Okay, open it up here. And the book is also in here, but we're not going to go through that. And to get it out of here, it's... I don't want to dump everything. There we go. Okay, we'll take out the main unit first right here. And this is it. Now you've got two buttons on it. That's all you got there. And you've got some ports over here. This is where you plug in the charger cable, which we're going to get to. And up here is where you charge this unit. Plus you've got two USB ports. In fact, I'll show you those right now. They're right here. You've got the little USB-C right there, and right here you've got the two USB ports. Now what those are for is like, well, say your cell phone's down or something, you can plug that in, or in my case, if I'm out and the camera battery's going down and I've got my charger with me, I can plug that into there. So that works very, very well. There's also a light here, and we might as well, since we got it right here, we'll show it to you. This is where you turn on the unit. Now, there's 3 bars there. That means that that's 75% charged. So that needs charged, and I'll definitely charge it. I think it's got 3 bars. All right, now, that light, as we were talking about, you push that, and you hold it down for like 3 seconds, and there it is. It's a bright LED light. I didn't want to point it right at you. And then, if you push it again, you get a strobe. And if you push it again, that's SOS. So, if you're out in the boat, and of course the Coast Guard, I pushed it again, turned it off. The Coast Guard requires that you have a flashlight. Okay, that's not a flashlight in order to signal. It signals. So, and it's good and bright, and it can be seen a long ways away, and hey, that's great. So that takes care of that. Now, over here, and I'll show you the cables here in a second. Over here, you have got some ports right there. You can see them. There is 2 here. Those are the 2 that you plug the cable into. And this is a DC adapter. Now, we've got all the cables for that here, and I'll show you right here. Here's the cable, the jumper cable, I guess you'd call it. And this has got two ends on it that match up with that, so you can't get them wrong as far as like if you got a positive and negative or whatever, you know, you can't get them wrong on that. So that is, it's a 24-inch one too, by the way. We'll put that down here and we'll get the other stuff out. Here is the DC one that we've got. That's right there. That plugs into there so that you've got, say if you have something like the old cigarette lighter type devices of that, that'll plug into that. Your charging cable and charger, your block right here, this is what you plug the USB into, and then here's your little charger cable with the USB-C that you have, and you just plug that into there, and that's what you do to plug it. Now, what are you going to do when you actually start to use this thing? Well, the first thing you do, and I'll close this up, the first thing you do is you turn it on. And then, if after you've got it connected, you turn it on, there'll be a green light that says, okay, everything's connected right, it's going to go, and the whole works, and you can start your vehicle. What happens if it goes red and it gives you an audible warning sign? What that is for, that's telling you don't have it connected right, or perhaps the battery is just so stinking dead, it's not going to register. So then what do? Well, over here, there's another button. You hit the override button, and that overrides it and gives it the go to do it. Of course, I can't do that now because we're not hooked up to a vehicle. But that's what you do with it. It's that simple, and it's all this compact. That is a lithium battery pack, and like I said, just charges up. I'm going to have to charge this one. And you can just, I mean, it's such a nice size, and with this case, everything's there together. You can throw it in your vehicle, you can put it in your boat, you can put it, you know, wherever. Very, very easy to store. In fact, with that size, if you put it somewhere like I would, in a garage or something, a shed, and then say, now what the blazes did I do with that thing? I've done that a lot. Anyhow, this is, like I said, I'm going to put it in my vehicle, and then if I know that I'm going to go out on the boat where I have to perhaps, hopefully, not have it, but it's there, throw it in the boat too. In fact, one of the things you could do is get two of them and have one for both. And there's different sizes. This is the 325 model, by the way, which is a 2000 amp, and it's got 450 amp starting power on it. And then they've got another one too that I think is a 345, and that's a little bit bigger. But anyway, they're different sizes, and you can look at them. As far as retail price goes, I don't actually know what the retail is, but I have seen them for around $168 in places. So, you know, it's just pretty much, I guess, what you find it for, but still in all, for $168, that's not too bad. Because look at the price of a regular battery. I know, I just had to buy one. And that thing cost right close to $300 for that battery in that vehicle. So, yeah, you can see that this thing, and it can really save you from, well, as I said, it was dark. By the time I got away from the lake, it was dark. So until next time, get out on the water and have a great day of fishing.